Hi friends, log on to my website fastbeam.com and talk to me on the forums. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram.
Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I am driving this, this looks like an EcoSport key, but it is the Focus RS, and straight away let me open the hood for you guys. But yeah, this is some effort. Now again, I'm not able to figure it out, so I have to go down. I think this is the switch. Here we go. No hydraulic struts, says Sport Performance over here. Massive air filter here as well. That's the engine of this car. Looks very purposeful with those massive grills or air dams, I would like to say, for the bumper. I mean, look at this. Look at the light over there. Beautiful lights, blackened treatment as well, RS badging over here. And it's very low, the ground clearance is very low. Just look at the distance between the wheel and the body. I mean, the suspension travel is very less on this car. Nice black rims, blue colored Brembo brake calipers on this car, and it looks absolutely stunning, especially from the rear. You know, you have something special. This is the RS logo over here on the rear spoiler. The rear spoiler is huge as well, and there's an RS badging here as well. The light looks nice, and you get a diffuser type thing at the rear bumper lower half, and the exhaust are really massive on this car. Let's quickly open the boot of this vehicle, and there you go. It's a decent sized boot by hatchback standards, and there is obviously no spare wheel, but that's for the audio system. And yeah, basically puncture repair kit. No spare wheel is offered on this vehicle. Let's quickly sit into the rear seat, and as you can see, there's absolutely no space with this seat pushed back, so I can't sit there. Cup holder over here. Build quality feels good enough, I would say. And I don't know what was this. So basically this is actually for the fuel, but it is so well integrated, it doesn't appear that way. Good stuff there, Ford, good stuff. So you can see from the side, it looks very purposeful, it looks very nice as well, very sporty too. And here I have the Volkswagen GTI. It's a 2013 model, which is also standing, so I have to get into the rear seat of this car. Here we go. So as you can see, there's actually good amount of space at the rear. I mean, it does feel a little claustrophobic because you feel hemmed in. All black interior, window area isn't big enough, and this is a scooped out seat back with magazine holder. Seat feels comfortable, headroom is decent as well, but not the best in terms of overall comfort, I would say. But it is the front seat where you would like to be, so let's quickly get into the front seat of this car. Now you can see the mirror gets this blind spot assist. Actually, it gets a heated function and a convex mirror, so you know you don't miss out anything. So a lot of buttons are similar to the ones we see on the Indian model, and it gets electric adjustment for the driver's seat. These beautiful Recaro seats, oh my god, they feel so comfortable. But really hot cabin at most of the times. The steering feels really nice to hold. Plenty of buttons here. These are for the cruise control, these are for the audio system. This is to go through the multi-information display, which is also very loaded in this car. Trip timer, distance to empty, instant fuel consumption, average fuel consumption, trip odometer, speedometer, and blah blah blah. On the right we get a speedometer, which is marked both in kilometers as well as miles per hour. On the left we get a tachometer, and over here we get 2 meters, one for the fuel level and the other for the engine temperature. Now these stalks are nice to hold. These are the ones for the wiper, and they're opposite wipers, like in the case of the Civic and the Hexa in the Indian market. They work really well, and actually the wipers are fantastic on this car. Look, there is absolutely nothing on the windscreen. Now obviously some water is coming, you can use it. Again, these are the controls for the indicators, these are controls for the light, and this is the engine start stop button. This is the air conditioning controls over here. There's a USB socket over here, there's space to keep stuff. There's a 12-volt charging socket over here. This is for the traction control, this is for the stop start, this is for the drive mode basically. And let me get into the drive mode right away. So drive mode is normal, there's sport, there is track, and there is a drift as well. Yeah, that's right, it also gets a drift mode. Can you believe it? That's insane. Here I'll show it to you again. Normal, sport, track, and drift mode. So it gets a Sony audio system, which has good audio quality. Let me play it for you right away. Really nice audio quality in this car, and there are twin cubby holes over here. Meanwhile, there's space under the center armrest as well. There's a USB socket as well as a 12-volt charging socket here as well. So again, a very nice touch. Glove box is quite large as well. Door pockets are big enough to keep a lot of bottles, and this irritating sound which we hear in Indian cars as well, Indian Fords, is also that. Now these are the meters for the turbocharger, which tells you how much pressure is there right now, the oil pressure as well as the boost temperature and overall engine temperature as well. This is over here. No auto dimming inside rear view mirror, which is disappointing. A sunglass holder over here, and this is to basically open the sunroof, which isn't really large, I would say. So over here you get a light and a mirror. Same is the case over here as well. So the cabin is quite practical, and I definitely like it a lot. But how is it to drive? Let's get going. All right, here we go, driving the Focus RS, and straight away driving it till its red line, which is almost 7,000 rpm. Makes quite a lot of noise, this motor. So this is a 2.3 liter EcoBoost motor which produces 350 horsepower and 450 Newton meters of torque. Good enough to go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in under 5 seconds. That's massively quick, and thankfully it doesn't get an automatic. So this is a 6-speed manual gearbox, and every time you get onto the throttle, it just erupts and accelerates with great amount of thrust. The gearbox is also very slick to operate. The clutch is also on the lighter side, but unfortunately the ride quality is just terrible. It's absolutely rubbish ride quality. I mean, the suspension seems to have no play at all because it feels so stiff. It's extremely stiff, and you can feel everything inside the cabin even on a smooth road like this. But the good part is the stiffness helps. It feels so agile and extremely sure-footed. The tires offer very good grip. Now this being a 4-wheel drive is also very sure-footed around corners, and the body control is just surreal. The steering is offering good amount of feel and feedback. It is very hard, or rather I would say steering is very tight, and I mean, it is heavy and it weighs up brilliantly well at higher speeds as well. So this motor makes quite a lot of noise, especially when it nears its 7,000 rpm red line, and that's where all the fun lies. And guess what? It also gets a drift mode, which is right here, and what it basically does is it disables front wheel drive with so much power going to the rear wheels. You are not going to point straight at all, and makes it very easy to drift. And it just feels so agile and sure-footed. It's like a point and shoot machine. The motor is making just the right noises, and as I get out on the highway, I floor it, and there it goes. So basically the shift light indication is with the RS logo blinking near the tachometer. The exhaust is like heavy, it's like rumbly, and every time you bury the throttle, once you get past the lag lower down, it just picks up pace brilliantly well. Yeah, the stiffness I was talking about, you have to be very careful over bad roads, especially over expansion joints, because I kind of get scared, you know, it might just crack the rim of the car. We are in third gear, we get into second, little notchy gearbox. Here we are. Absolutely pulls. Even on part throttle, the thrust is just insane from this engine. Now obviously this is a light car, and that helps its cause further. The 4-wheel drive does make it heavy, but comparatively it is still light. Now in third gear, we are almost doing 5,000 rpm at 65 miles per hour, which equates to around 103 kilometers per hour. Hard onto the gas, and it pulls near its red line of 7,000 rpm. The tachometer just like bounces off the red line very quickly and very fast. Is it a left or is it a right?
It's gonna be on the right.
Second gear doesn't engage smoothly on this car, and here we are. I'm going to rev the nuts out of it in second, and here we go. It does exactly 100 kilometers per hour in second, and let's get into higher gear. So right now into fifth. It's very comfortable, very relaxed. It doesn't sound like a hooligan, which it is in higher gears, which means that you can cruise along very comfortably without really bothering people around. Brakes offer good stopping power too, and it's just the ride which is really disappointing. The rest of the package seems almost perfect for a compact car with a good amount of performance. On upshifts, it makes that noise as well. There's a kickback on upshifts, which is again a very nice thing. Bury the throttle even in fourth gear, and all of a sudden this car pulls. So you will never catch it sleeping because it has the thrust and it's always ready to go. What sells better between the WRX and the Focus?
The WRX.
How much does the brand new one come for?
Oh, these?
Yeah.
These ones probably, if it's 2017, probably like 40,000.
Here we go into third gear. much more expensive than the WRX,
It is, yeah.
but then has more power as well.
Yes, it does. It's probably a lot lighter too, isn't it?
Yeah.